So I don't know if you remember, but last time, basically, we ended, I think just right after, we ended once we had basically we were in the museum with all of the different artifacts and things, and there was the painter or the painting of the dimensional shambler, and we approached the painting, and then it came out of the painting and started hunting us. So after several attempts, we finally got the correct dagger, and we used that on the painting, which then forced the dimensional shambler back into the painting and back into its own dimension. Obviously, that doesn't mean that there won't be other things that come out of other dimensions or whatever after us. So it's now the nameless bookstore. The Shambler turned out to be much more than an artwork painted by Sarah Hawkins, as a huge creature came out of the painting to attack Pierce. After a hard fight, the detective managed to send it back into the painting. He later discovered that the dagger he used to repel the creature had been sold to Sanders by a man named Algernon Drake, owner of the nameless bookstore. Pierce decides to pay the library a visit. I hopefully don't encounter something similar in this library, but we'll find out, I suppose. I suppose. A busted window with blood splattered around the edge of the window is never a good thing, I think. So
Where is the bookseller? Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
Pastor declared himself to be the prophet. He renounced God and worshipped a strange pagan entity with a monstrous appearance. His wife tried to reason with her husband, but in vain. He was convinced that he must listen to this voice in his head because it holds the truth.
Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
This practical work, written by Sigmund Freud for psychologists, describes the techniques of analytical interpretation of dreams. The analysis must follow several rules, especially that of free association, a principle announced by Freud at the end of the 19th century. It treats dreams as a way of revealing buried treasure or buried desires. I cannot believe that this theory is applicable to my nightmares. Okay, that's gonna be more psychology. Oh, medicine. Not psychology, more medicine. Okay. Was there? Nope. I thought I saw something that way, but I was wrong. Darkwater History by Harry Campbell, Volume 2. A Puritan colony led by Reverend John Wickwood settled on the island during the 17th century. They named the island Darkwater because of the dark shades of the sea. They believed it was because of the peculiar color of the rocks surrounding the island. They erected the first buildings, among which were the Hawkins Manor, the church, and the cemetery. The rare documents and handwritten notes they left spoke of nightmares and deviant behaviors. They disappeared at the beginning of the 18th century. Ah, more for my lantern. Volume 4. In the 19th century, as the American whaling industry reached its peak in the rest of the world, whales gradually disappeared from the waters surrounding Darkwater. This phenomenon appears even more mysterious because, up until then, the region was a favored refuge for crustaceans. In 1847, after months of pursuit, Scylla returns to port with a gigantic creature on board. Its crew asserts that the sea monster had eaten all the disappeared whales. After a night of ferocious combat, the survivors managed to drag the beast onto the whaling ship. Okay. Humani Core. It's interesting this bookseller has a lot of pictures about the human body, though. That seems... I mean, have some, of course, obviously, because, you know, some of the information from books or whatever, but as much as he has, it seems a little bit unusual. Why would you need that? Why would you have that many of those? Maybe he happens to be just fascinated with the human body? Maybe. Ooh. Maybe there's something up and behind there. Seems to be a lot of places in this bookstore. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. More anatomy drawings and such. For whatever reason. There we go. Handbook on Anatomy and Dissection, Book 2, is precise and illustrated with as much detail as the first volume. This book focuses on healing surgeries specific to malformations and motor disorders. More medicine. Interesting. Okay. Oh. I see another one of these, huh? Crap. Alright, let's go insane.
What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
This collection catalogs and classifies creatures that I had never heard of. Divinities from the stars, creatures capable of traveling from one dimension to another. It presents itself as a reference work on the bestiary of the myth. Without giving details on the mythology to which it refers, its pages are covered with phantasmagorical illustrations. Occultism progression. And I'm probably more insane now. Let's see. So inventory, knowledge. Places. Sanders' residence. The Sanders house, all in shades of red and in gold, is impressive, but nothing matches the private gallery of Francis Sanders. The place is huge and entirely dedicated to his passion for troubling and macabre works. Defaced figures of virgins, sacrificial daggers, statues of monsters, and the painting that led him to his demise takes center stage. The Shambler, a painting by Sarah Hawkins, a close friend of the couple. What happened in this room? I will never be able to forget it. Painting of the Shambler. The painting was exposed in Francis Sanders' gallery, but I think that the creature no longer requires it for movement. It went to hunt down Sanders in the cellars of the Riverside Institute. I do not know where it comes from, but one thing is sure. It's starving. Did I succeed in sending it back to its world? I'm not sure. Extract from the notebook of Edward Pierce, private detective. Dagger of the Ancients. This exceptional dagger of Ottoman origin probably dates from the 16th century. It bears the elder sign on its hilt. It apparently belongs to Pargali Ibrahim Pasha, Grand Vizier at the court of Suleiman the Magnificent. Legend tells that Pargali used the symbol on the dagger to protect the court from a creature that haunted the mirrors of the palace. What is certain is that Suleiman and his vizier what is certain is that Suleiman had his vizier executed. Did he fear him after this demonstration of power? Extract from Art and Mysticism, Francis Sanders' Forgotten Objects. Alright, and then Pierce. Sanity. We're shaking right now. Meet the Shambler. It is in Francis Sanders' private gallery that Pierce discovers the identity of the Shambler, a huge artwork painting by Sarah Hawkins. When Pierce approached it, a creature burst forth from the painting and immediately chased after him. This beast from another dimension has such a hold on the mind of a person who finds himself in its presence that a simple glance in its direction is enough for Pierce to lose some sanity. Pierce finally managed to send the Shambler back into the painting, using a dagger engraved with a strange symbol, but this encounter has left its mark on the psyche of the investigator. Still under the influence of the creature, he almost stabbed his own hand. It's messed up. Looks like, though, We've not lost additional sanity, it looks like. So the Malleus Bestiarium that we read at the Sanders residence made us lose some. And then this, the experience with the Shambler, made us lose some. But we just read more of the Malleus Bestiarium, like another volume of it or whatever. And it looks like it didn't affect our sanity because there's nothing over here for that. Skills. So now we are halfway to average medicine, I guess. Hey, Fofox, no problem. And then occultism, we're now pretty well versed in occult stuff, actually. I wonder at this point if I stop reading occult stuff, because the sanity risk may not be worth it, and when we're almost to 70%, that might be good enough to identify whatever we need to still in the game. I'm not sure. I feel like maybe I don't want to read occult stuff anymore, just for the sake of Pierce's sanity. So we may not do that anymore moving forward. I have 2 character points. Let's see. I didn't want to do this anymore. I could analyze things, but I feel like this might be more important. So let's do this. So we're at 40, so we'll be at 50%. Yeah, let's do that. 50% eloquence. Okay. Okay. Reading this affected our destiny, though, so I don't know what that means. We'd encounter the Shambler again. I would hope not, but who knows.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
These Tibetan writings are at the origin of the esoteric movement founded by Helena Blavatsky at the end of the 19th century. The creator of Theosophy would have drawn extensively on the texts of this work, but no one has ever been able to consult them. I thought they didn't exist. This book, discovered in the nameless bookstore on Darkwater, could be as much a fake as irrefutable proof of Blavatsky's sincerity. Okay. Okay. Strange secrets, and that gave us an occultism, some occultism progression as well. Does that increase? It looks like it didn't affect me sanity-wise. So now our occultism is 72%. Yeah, so I feel like if we have an option where it says read the book, let's not read the book anymore for the rest of the game. I feel like maybe that's wise to not do that. No, I don't think you have to figure everything out. So the game, like any other game, I think, well, or most other games, is effectively a story with a series of events playing throughout the story, right? It's just how things play out. So maybe some clues you can interpret where others you don't. You might not get as full of a picture if you don't understand certain things, but I don't think that will hinder you from finishing the game. So, for example, and I don't know that this is in every case throughout the game, but for example, when we were on the docks, we were able to either find the clues in the warehouse and then sneak underneath and go through the water tunnel and come out where the police had sealed off. Or we could do something with the 2 thugs that Cat controlled and then go around the other way. So there were 2 different ways to basically get to the same objective, I think. I think that's probably true for any of the stuff in the game. That just whatever path you take is one of a couple of different ways to achieve the same end. Breviary of Medicine, Tome 3. Even a few years back, it was possible for a single practitioner to know all the medical knowledge of his time. This book, which concludes the series, shows that this is now virtually impossible. About 10 renowned doctors took part in putting together this collection. Okay, so more medicine progression.
What happened here? Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work. To whom does this footprint belong?
Looks like nothing that way, okay.
This burglar seems to be rather clumsy.
Ah, maybe a secret passage behind?
What killed all these animals?
Oh. Some rats dead, and then also like a bunch of beetles, looks like.
What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work? What the? Charles Hawkins?
Which, of course, is an elder sign.
What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case. What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
Wow, sold for $2,053, an amulet with an elder sign. This key that bears the elder sign is the only one able to protect your psyche. It is in the form of a cylindrical medallion hanging at the end of a heavy chain. Hundreds of years ago, the star and the branch whose purpose is to push back the forces of the great old ones were engraved at its center. Everything points to it being Charles Hawkins that tore it from its last owner, an Egyptian antique dealer. In press cuttings that mention the misdemeanor, the date of the robbery coincides with the last of Hawkins' trips off to Cairo. Let's see. Okay. It remains to be seen whether he knows of the true purpose of the artifact. Try to find it. Okay.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
I found these sleeping pills in the bookshop. Does the bookseller suffer from insomnia? Alright, so nothing in there. Handbook on Anatomy and Dissection, Book 1. The least that can be said about this book is that its title is well conceived. The illustrations of human anatomy and dissection methods presented are illustrated in great detail. You have to have a strong heart or the detachment proper to doctors, to consult its pages. Okay. There's that. Okay.
A strange amulet. I have a feeling I better not touch it.
Amulet in the shape of a dog. A strange amulet. The pendant is in the shape of a large dog. I don't know what it represents. I might find out more by searching the bookstore. Okay. Said he feels like he shouldn't touch it, but then apparently it's in our inventory, so I don't know.
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
A page seems to be hidden here. It is possible to read. If somebody finds these memoirs, there will be no doubt that I am in serious trouble. My last and only hope is that my body and bones are still in this plane of reality, in order that they be recovered and burned. The funeral urn must be given to my dear mother, if she is still of this world. The following message is of capital importance. Whoever reads these lines and demonstrates acuity as sharp as mine can hope to gain access to my most precious possession. It lies within my safe, and the clues to the combination are to be found in 3 cylinders, each hidden where life and study combine in the Greek world. Each cylinder is numbered, even if, as the celebrated author says, order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of the imagination. Indeed, despite my preference for organized chaos, I must admit that reason usually prevails in the end. If by chance a person, or should I say a genius, was to match my intellect and find the combination of the safe, I would ask that they deliver its content into the safekeeping of my friend and colleague, Professor Armitage of Miskatonic University. The content of this safe is not only a vast digest of knowledge, but also a weapon that is far too dangerous for it to fall into the wrong hands. I hope that you will be able to appreciate the danger that this represents, and that you will act accordingly. In any event, I will neither be there to guide you, nor to suffer from your actions. Three cylinders, each hidden where life and study combine in the Greek world. Life and study? Is that science of some kind, maybe? Life and study combine. Oh, right. So books.
Arkham editions. Never heard of them.
Isis Unveiled. Isis? Wait, what? A book of esoteric philosophy and a key text in Madame Blavatsky's Theosophical Movement, written by Helena Petrovna Blavatsky. Sorry. This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection of treatises and works on esotericism and the supernatural. I think it's supposed to be treatises, not treaties. Okay.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Corpus Hermeticum, written by Hermes Trismegistus, translated and edited by Nathaniel M. Coppelius. This collection of texts on different beliefs was written by a legendary philosopher. It includes a translation of the Emerald Tablet, popular text among 16th century alchemists, and this volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection of treatises and works on esotericism and the supernatural. Dude, seriously? So many volumes. Okay.
Another volume by Arkham editions.
Azathoth and other horrors. Oh, great. Azathoth? No, that's great. That's more great old ones. A collection of poems by Edward Pickman Derby, also known as the Nightmare Lyrics. This collection of poems was sensationally received when first published in 1908. Derby was only 18 years old. This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Arkham editions. Never heard of them.
The Key of Solomon. A book of spells supposedly written by the legendary King Solomon. It contains various rituals of invocation and rituals of curse. Re-edition by Claudia D. Waits, based on L.W. DeLawrence's original. This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology. Okay. Yep. So read those. Wait, could I not? I already read that, though. What the? Why? We read that one. Why does that one go away, but these still have...
How many volumes are there in this collection?
We already looked at those. What the? Okay, I don't know. Whatever.
Another volume by Arkham editions.
Alright. So two there. I'm feeling like something might come in, so I'm gonna do this.
Arkham editions. Never heard of them.
Things That Should Not Be. Collection of essays on American folklore and urban legends written by Albert Wilmarth, professor at Miskatonic University. This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology. Okay.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Aurea Linda, an ancient Frisian manuscript translated by William R. Sandbach. The text claims that in the distant past, Europe and other continents were controlled by the mothers of this people, and, moreover, that our alphabet is derived from the Frisian language. This volume, okay, yeah, okay.
Another volume by Arkham editions.
Massa di Requiem per Shugai. Opera in 8 acts by Benvenuto Chieti Brodigera, an infamous lyrical work published in Italy in 1768. It is said that the opera was performed only once, resulting in an audience riot that left several dead and missing. Oh, that's messed up.
Arkham editions. Never heard of them.
The Prophecies, a collection of long-term astrological predictions written in verse. Written by Nostradamus, translated by E. Leone and Theophilus Widebridge. This volume is... Oh, yep, okay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Things are not looking good.
On the chessboard, yeah. No, it's true.
A kind of chalice.
This goblet seems to be very ancient. It seems to be made of gold and decorated with real precious stones. Do the rubies and sapphires make up a specific motif? Hmm. That's the chessboard again. Ah, more oil.
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
So two. Was there an additional one? Because he had said, because it says 2 and 3, first of all, and I thought he mentioned 3 cylinders. What? I see there are 3 numbers there, and also whispering as you approach, so that's always a good sign. And I don't know where we get the 3rd number. Okay, we've got what now? Oh, okay, cool. Whichever. I'll now that you've let me know, I'll look on Facebook and see. Okay, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll look on Facebook. It's fine. I can always share from Facebook to Twitter also. I think so. That's fine. Oh, we do have all 3 volumes. I didn't think we had all 3. Okay. Cylinder 1 meant to be listened to by using a phonograph. Found in the nameless bookstore. The message, although obscure, might contain important information. Same thing, same thing. Okay, so the phonograph is in the other room, so we'll have to go to the other room apparently. Okay. That's great. I totally wanted to have to go to the other room and not stay here at all. Might find out more what this represents by searching the bookstore. Yeah, maybe. Clues, Chapter 7. Key of the Relia file. The Hound. Do not make the mistake of taking this jewel for an inanimate object. The soul of a powerful sorcerer, devourer of bodies of the Leng cult, a sect from Central Asia, lies in this jade amulet. Oh. His very characteristic form of a massive hunting dog represents the transformation of the sorcerer into a man-eating ghoul. Whoever unearths the amulet and wears it around his neck is at risk of the sorcerer's wrath. The latter will return in the shape of a formidable hunter to track and dismember all defilers. Extract taken from the Malleus Bestiarium by Abigail G. Yeah, so basically I don't want to have this right now. He also did say I probably shouldn't touch it, so hopefully we're not actually handling it and we're just looking at what we've seen. Okay. And then places. The nameless bookstore. I've never seen such a collection of works on magic and occultism. Algernon Drake, the owner, prides himself on being a luminary in the study of esoteric phenomena. The library was ransacked during an attempted burglary. It holds numerous rare or forbidden works. Its back room houses a safe protected by an ancient symbol. And we've lost more sanity now. Wait, we have? What did we... These are all so far things we've already encountered. Yeah, we've already... What? I don't know why we lost more sanity. Well, that's awesome. So our occultism is pretty high now. Our medicine is not even average. Alright. Okay. Let's go listen to him with the phonograph in the other room. And then hopefully not get killed after listening to it. It was here, right? Drake Cylinder 1. Okay, how do I... listen.
And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
So, what? Red drops like blood, lie set in gold. And the rest of it is basically just mentioning that goblet we found is supposed to be the Holy Grail, I guess. Okay. And then S navigate. There we go. Okay. E.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
Okay, so I wrote down White Queen, still standing, and number dwindling. Those seem to be the most likely significant things from that one. And then this.
Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Okay, so volume 9, the Azathoth one, is particularly relevant. Okay.
The Queen has little protection. The Queen has little protection.
So number dwindling. I don't know if that's number of other pieces or that she stands alone. So that could be a 1 or a 3 or a 4. I'm guessing. So 1, 3, or 4. Depending on which number we're using for that.
The Chalice of Knowledge.
Seems to be made of gold decorated with real precious stones. The rubies and sapphires make up a specific motif. Okay. He had said red drops like blood lie set in gold. Maybe it's the number of red drops. So I don't know how I make sure I'm not going too far. Oh, I guess I'll just do it this way where we're here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 looks like. 5 red jewels is probably the number we want. What did he say about the... Did he mention the sapphires? I don't think so, right? Let me look again. This one, I think, is the first one.
Red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Okay, they don't mention the sapphires as far as I know. And then he said volume 9 of the one of Azathoth.
What did Drake say about this collection?
Not this one.
Drake talked about a particular...
There we go. Collection of poems by Edward Pickman Derby, also known as the Nightmare Lyrics. This collection of poems was sensationally received when first published in 1908. Derby was only 18 years old. So this is volume 9. There's also he was 18 years old. I doubt 1908 plays into it because I don't think the numbers go that high. Maybe 8 or maybe 19, but volume is part of that. Okay. Okay. A. I see. Okay, so 5, I think. And then let's try 3 to guard her. Whoops. And then he was 18 though. But it was volume 9. So maybe it's 9. Yep, cutscene. Great, we're probably gonna have something come after us. More occult stuff. Gosh dang it. This is very bad. Chapter 8, Riverside Institute. Did we just go crazy? In the nameless bookstore, Pierce traced the trail of an attempted burglary. He discovered that Charles Hawkins was behind the attempt. Pierce opened the bookseller's safe to find what the latter and Sarah Hawkins had hidden there. A book covered in human skin lied inside, irresistibly attracted the detective. When he opened it, his mind was projected into another body. This is very bad. This is very, very, very bad. This is how we go insane. This is how we die. Something should just be left remain and not be asked of why. So now we're going into another body. Whose? I wonder if it's that crazy guy that tried to distract for us that failed. I don't know. What? Do the Institute again? God dang it. The Institute was not a happy place. Okay.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Did you inject him with a tranquilizer?
No, Doctor. Not me, not anyone. Our stock is empty, yet again.
Again? But there was enough for the whole island.
More and more people are suffering from insomnia. We can't refuse to help.
Of course.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Very well. I'll examine him. Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body. His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin, tender at the touch, slightly sticky. 30-year-old subject, severe hypothermia, erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums, necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth. In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings glowing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes, like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients, provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
These are alarming symptoms. If we don't act, he'll die.
Do you believe that? I'm not as convinced, you see. I even think this man has a strong chance of completely healing from his ailments.
No, Doctor. This patient isn't himself anymore. He's dying.
Really? What do you mean by isn't himself?
He's changing. His physical characteristics, they are more animal than human now.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you over reacting?
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
I don't think that. Let's do this.
I disapprove of Fuller's methods, but his treatments have saved more lives than I can count.
And Mr. Blake? You said yourself he was dying.
I don't know what to think for now. What I'm sure of is that Fuller is hiding something from us, and I need to know what that is before I take a chance exposing him.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep Mum.
I don't know if I trust her, but okay. So our objective is to get into Fuller's office. I see. Okay.
This place draws you in and never lets you go.
High security unit is probably not down there. That's down to all of the cells and stuff, I think. I don't know where his office is, so I guess I wander around for a bit to find it.
Elizabeth? You all right? Why is this room in such a state?
Because, as always, I'm cleaning it by myself. And the water was once again shut off this morning. I had to bother Mrs. Donovan again, giving her a new excuse to belittle me.
Do you really need Mrs. Donovan to open a valve? Why not ask the janitor?
I can't make these decisions without her approval. Imagine if there were a leak. Anyhow, the boiler room is locked half the time. So every time the water gets shut off, I have to go and endure her reproach until she's settled the problem.
I see. Courage, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Doctor.
It's temperamental, if I understand correctly.
Okay, so maybe something with the pipes later. We might have to burst them or something. I'm not sure. do something that would distract people, maybe, so we can get into the office. I'm not sure what the idea is there, but I'm guessing something along those lines. Administration could be. This could go to his office. This would be where that other door leads. Reference Book of Medical Sciences. Like a dictionary, this work references in alphabetical order all the medical sciences known and practiced in the modern world. For each of the entries, the major works and the names of the reference authorities are listed.
I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's not only the doctors who have things to do.
Ha! She doesn't like me. Okay.
Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? Dr. Colden.
Mrs. Donovan.
Nobody goes into Dr. Fuller's office. But rest assured, I'll tell him you came by.
That won't be necessary. Thank you.
I will tell him, nonetheless.
I see. So I'm gonna have to distract her for somehow, and that is his office. Okay. So I will have to figure out. Maybe something with the water will get her, Mrs. Donovan, worried enough or something to come across. Boiler room could do something, potentially. Okay, let's go into some of these side rooms and work our way back over there again. First, let's go to the pharmacy. Maybe.
You're pulling my leg. I'm not joking. I saw the schedule. She's alone in the bathroom again. And she still says nothing to that old witch, Donovan. Oh, listen to the way you talk, you naughty girl. And the answer is no. You can imagine that she doesn't dare say a thing. That silly goose lets herself be trodden on. Oh well, at least we won't have to clean for a while. And just wait and see the next time the water's cut off. It's a real show.
So maybe I could potentially cut the water off, for example.
The doses prescribed by Fuller are far too high.
Prescription for barbiturates signed by Dr. Fuller. Uomo Delinquente. This pseudoscientific work by Cesare Lombroso correlates an individual's morphology with his criminal predispositions. The seriousness of this study and the accuracy of the demonstrations can deceive an uninformed reader.
We're running out of this medicine.
I know, Doctor. We sent the purchase order, though, but Mrs. Donovan refused it.
Once again.
Can't you do anything?
Donovan takes her instructions directly from Dr. Fuller. I'm afraid I can do nothing about it for the moment. We've been waiting to be restocked for weeks.
Okay, so I think that's it for the pharmacy. Let's take a look at the boiler room. What's going on in here? Oh.
The door to the boiler room is locked. I
Man.
have to get the key if I wish to get rid of Donovan.
Yeah, okay, so maybe not right now. Let me guess, you have the key, buddy? No? No? Okay. What about you? No? Does anybody have the key around here? I don't know. I think I'm trying to get to his office to find certain records to be able to prove that he's doing stuff he shouldn't. But all I know is the objective, as you can see in the upper right there, is to get into his office. And so in the process of that, we need to distract Donovan, which means we need to cut off the water. So we need a key to get into the boiler room, turn off the water there. Then, what's her name? The nurse that was crossway complaining will see that there's a problem with the pipes. She'll go across the hall and get Mrs. Donovan, who'll then go over. While Mrs. Donovan is distracted, then I'll go in Fuller's office and try to find his records.
The operating room is never accessible after an operation.
This might be some kind of records room.
This man, Edward Pierce, his file is incomplete. What did Fuller do to him?
File is strangely incomplete and the detail on treatment is not given. It does not respect standard practice. Okay. So there.
The boiler room key is not in its place. Dr. Fuller always keeps his key with him.
So does this mean I need to go over to Dr. Fuller and then, like, sneak up behind him or something? I don't know.
Dr. Colden, we need you at once in Dormitory B.
What is the problem?
Mr. Evans seems to be having trouble with his IV.
I'll see to it right away.
And the family of Mrs. Harding is asking to see her medical file.
I'll never understand why it's so hard to see patients' files around here.
Rules are rules. See, with Dr. Fuller, he's in charge. Anyhow, they're still waiting, and I don't think they'll leave until they get what they want.
Understood. Anything else?
As a matter of fact, yes. A man has been brought up from the basement.
Oh. What state is he in now?
You should go see for yourself, Doctor.
Storage room?
Sorry, but nobody can take anything until I finish the inventory. Please, the fewer interruptions there are, the faster I'll be finished.
Alright, I guess just leave the door open then.
Where did my fiancée go? I hope those nutcases will stop burdening her with work.
Okay, gosh, I have to stop. I'm gonna have let's just say a bathroom emergency here, so I don't know if we'll have to redo the checkpoint, but I think we're going to call that good for this game for tonight. I'm also kind of tired, so I think we're just going to call it end here. I'll try to continue with scratches tomorrow, maybe before homesick again. So I thank you for joining me, and I will be streaming at the usual time tomorrow to start, I think, and then we'll see. I might go a little bit long. If I could do both games tomorrow, maybe that's what I'll do. Try to do that anyway. So thanks for joining me, and yeah, that'll be the plan. So take it easy, and I will talk to you tomorrow, hopefully. And in the meantime, check out any other videos, catch up if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. See you later.